posting the link in all the places. And this should also be being hosted on the AIE Guild channel in case you're there instead of on my own channel. Alright, so welcome to Where to Get Started in ESO for members of the AIE Guild, or just anybody else that wants to be watching.
Whoa,
whoa. Tonight we're just going to go through a few tips and tricks about the games, walk through starting a character, and just hang out. This game has been around since probably about 2015, I think. And when it first launched, there were some hiccups. I played in the beta, it didn't really grab me. And then several years back, they did the one Tamriel conversion that made this game way easier to group up with people, a lot more fun, and just a better experience overall, and I jumped back in. And I've been playing it regularly ever since, like multiple times a week. And thank you for tuning in on the Twitch stream, Lucy. I appreciate it. So we are going to walk through Character Creator, and I decided that I needed a Dragon Knight because I don't have one. But we start off with picking our race. So since I want to be a Dragon Knight, I did a little bit of research, and the best three races for Dragon Knights that are recommended are either Orc, well, the best three that I don't already have characters of are Orc, Red Guard, or Wood Elf. So I'm gonna let you guys help me choose.
It depends a bit on what type of Dragon Knight you mean, like if it's stamina, tank, healer, or magicka.
That is true.
I like tank.
I'm gonna do stamina DPS because I like DPS. I'm a big proponent of playing what you like. So,
yeah, those races are good for stamina.
Yeah.
Hey, Smoke, how's it going?
So just a brief glance at the races that are available. There is the Bretons.
Good for magicka.
Yep, Bretons
also good for magicka.
High Elves are very good for magicka. That's what my Sork is. The Argonians, which make great tanks and healers.
So should we create that character?
You can create whatever you want. You don't have to create the same thing as what I'm creating.
I'm looking for a tank, so if you guys point me in the right direction.
The best tank would probably be an Argonian Dragon Knight.
Yeah, Argonian Dragon Knight for a tank. Necro tanks are also good. So they're
Argonian what?
Dragon Knight.
Dragon Knight.
Nords are also good, but they're a little bit harder.
So there are the Orcs, the Wood Elves, Dark Elves, Red Guards, Khajiit, cat people, and the Nords. So the reason I narrowed it down to 3 for myself in advance is because I know that Character Creator in this game could take me like 8 hours easy. So Orc, Red Guard, or Wood Elf are the 3 that I was looking at that I don't have. So, any suggestions? Anything you guys want to see me create?
What races do you have so far?
I have a Breton, a Nord, a High Elf, a Khajiit, and an Argonian.
Red Guard
and
or Orc would be... Red Guard or Orc would be really good for the role.
Alright. Anybody else?
I vote Orc.
I vote Orc.
Orc? Alright, Orc it is then. I always play female characters, which is why that's already defaulted at female. And I'm gonna need a name. I'll have to think about that. Alright, so next we go to class. So Dragon Knight's what I'm going to pick for this. But the other classes are Sork, and I absolutely love my Sork. my sorcerer. Nightblade. Templar. These make great tanks and healers. Mostly healers.
Yeah, they're the best healers. Best healers in the game.
Wardens, which remind me a bit like a hunter would in WoW, just because of the pet class. And Necromancer, which is also fun and throws like flaming blue skulls at people, so that's a good one too.
Or green if you're stamina.
But we are going to do Dragon Knight.
I have every race and class combination of the game if anybody has questions.
I tend to keep my character's body type right in the middle usually. But sort of taller. Skin color, there's a lot of different options. I don't know, let's see. That's not too bad. There's a variety of body markings you can pick, which I'll do that so that you can see the, of course that zoomed it back out, what some of the markings look like.
NSFW? Can you?
Hey, it's in the game.
Hello. Got a bikini on.
So just various different body markings. Looks like a little vampire bite on the shoulder there. Some tattoos.
Just a little bit of burn marks on any of my characters that use fire, like the Sorks or the Mercs and...
I think the dragon would be good for
Star
a dragon.
Wars.
Alright, we'll go with the dragon.
Hey, how do I watch the stream? Sorry.
It's twitch.tv/Dankinia. To zoom in, I just scroll in on my mouse wheel, Fezzik. And while normally I would spend hours, you know, messing with all of the sizes, I'm just gonna keep it basic because otherwise we will be here all night in Character Creator. But you can see there's a lot of options here as to how the bodies look. And into the face. Since we're back into the face, I'm gonna put clothes back on her. There we go. Alright, so it gives you the option to test out what voice you might want.
I always forget to do that, and then I gotta redo it.
Dankinia, should I skip? I created my character. Should I skip the tutorial you'll walk us through?
I'm gonna go through the tutorial. You can skip it if you'd like, or you can play through it. It's entirely up to you.
I highly recommend the tutorials. They're not that long, and they teach you some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you've already done it, you might not need to do it again, but...
Which tutorial have you done? Each expansion has a new tutorial.
I only did the original game one. That's all I ever played.
Alright, so this is a different tutorial entirely.
Yeah, with every chapter, they've updated the tutorial and how it starts, so you get a different story in the beginning, and the one for this one really ties into the opening cinematic, so it's a really good thing to do, I think. Alright, so you can mess around with the voices. Which I do recommend, because otherwise you might end up with a voice you absolutely hate and you're listening to her yell at things in a horrible voice all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna pick that one.
So is everyone starting a new character?
Yeah. Hey, DP. Yeah.
Entirely up to you, DP. You can create one or you can just follow along.
I'm just here to watch. In fact, I will be in game. We should probably have somebody in game to invite you to the guild.
Ooh, I wanna
Oh
be
yes,
in
that
the
would.
guild.
At that point too.
Yeah, if you're not in the guild already, we'll get you in the guild. But guilds in this game are account bound, not character bound. So creating a new character if you're already in the guild will automatically get you in there.
I'm
so-
in too.
Is not in there yet. Post your account name, which is the at name for your account in the ESO chat, and we'll grab you right in.
I don't know. I think a Dragon Knight would probably have her hair pulled back instead of long. She wouldn't want to catch it on fire, right?
It's already been on fire. There we go, that short one. Ugh, I could spend months doing character creation in ESO.
Corley's asking
Same.
about Alliance.
Alliance doesn't matter. Sorry, I didn't see that.
Except for PvP, but otherwise no.
Yes, for our guild, Alliance doesn't matter unless you're going to PvP, and even then you can have characters of all the alliances if you want. So, and there's something called the any class, any race that some people have, so you can be any race in any alliance, but otherwise just the default one.
I think a lot of the guild is Aldemari Dominion.
Yeah, a lot of
Just
us are
wanna be
AD.
safe. But
Pick the
we're gonna
race
have
that's
to
best
go
for you.
with
Don't
something else.
focus too much on it. Like, it only matters for Cyrodiil and Imperial City. Big instance PvP.
But we do
Yeah,
that as
we're
a
not gonna
guild
do
event every once in a while. Go into there, so
Can you
will
change
want-
your race afterwards?
Yes, you can change your race with a race change token that you can purchase in the with the ESO store.
And I think they added an alliance change token as well.
That's only if you have the any race, any alliance.
Yeah.
You know, I sort of
They
like the
did give
horns.
us all Wingrows, but we can't use it if you don't already have that.
Big fan of horns on orcs.
I think I like the horns.
Yeah, you have my vote.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the horn. Thank you, Zaxnot, for the follow.
Up for a few minutes to get through this.
Yeah, gonna go with the horns, I think. Just going through and seeing what facial marks I might want to put on her. As you can see, there are a ton of different options available in Elder Scrolls games, Bethesda games in general. That's a different look. I'm not...
Yeah, it is.
I don't think I'm going to do that.
That's weird.
But
And
it's
all the
great.
total
Muerte.
face coverings kind of freak me out.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't really need to have her whole face covered.
There's a thing you can buy so you can adjust things like facial hair, and adornments after the fact in your collections. So I usually just leave them blank and apply them later.
So, alright, so I'm actually paying attention now. I have a lot less races now that I've bought Greymoor to be able to make characters with.
You shouldn't have less races.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, so...
It doesn't change the number of races available. Oh, well... No, it shouldn't change the number of races available.
Yeah.
Well, because I made, before I bought Greymoor, I made the lizard people. I don't even know what they are.
Argonian.
Now I can't pick that now.
Did you pick did you pick a different alliance? So if you were an Ebonheart before, then you could make an Argonian, but if you are Aldemari Dominion, you can't.
I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, some of the races are tied into Alliance, so...
Picked all of them, but I didn't see it, but I just found it, so sorry.
Yeah, the only race that's not tied into the Alliance is the Imperial Race, and to unlock that is a purchase that you used to make in the Crown Store. I don't even know if it's still available for purchase.
The unlock for all races, all whatever, yeah, it's still there. Well, I mean, yeah, any race, any alliance bundles under special offers.
Right, I think that works for the look.
I like it.
All right, so we come back to the decision of character name. No, Malung, it doesn't make any difference what race you are or what faction you are for being in the AIE Guild. This, since guild membership is account-based, not character-based, we have people from all factions in the guild, so it doesn't matter. And in choosing the Imperial Race can be any faction, so it just depends upon where you go for PvP. There it'll make a little bit of a difference. Orkinia is an option. Alright, let's see if that's available since that's the first one I see. Orkinia. Alright, we'll see if that works. I'm not going to skip the tutorial. I'm going to play it. Now we're going into Deepwood Vale. And of course it's telling me one of my other alts has completed the mount training for some reason. Alright, so just a couple tips with ESO in general. If you press the period button on your computer, you basically free up your mouse so you can move it around, go into chat, drag things, windows and stuff. Which is helpful because one of the first things I tried to do in this game was chat, and I'm like, well, how come every time I try to go to the chat, my character turns around? Well, hitting the period button frees that up. The normal... I don't play this with the controller, so normal keyboard and mouse movement. And just like any Bethesda game, you loot everything. So while this game does not have a subscription requirement, you can purchase what's called ESO Plus. ESO Plus gives you an unlimited crafting bag and double your inventory space. And anyone that's played Elder Scrolls, other Elder Scrolls games, or like the Fallout games, inventory management is always an issue, especially when you loot all the things. So,
that's double banking space.
Yeah, double banks. Doesn't it do inventory as well?
Yeah, or no, not normal inventory, just the bank and...
Oh, bank and house, that's right. Bank and house.
Bank and house, that's what I was trying to think of.
This is sweet.
Alright, we're gonna help this guy.
My thanks.
At what level do
Hear me
you
out if you want to escape
can
this
you get
place.
invited to the guild?
Any level.
Right away, yeah.
Yeah, if you put your name in chat, we can get your account or your @name in the ESO chat in Discord. We can get you an invite.
So it's account once you're on it.
Yeah, it's like Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So if you hit P for the party window, up at the top it'll show you what your or your user ID is. If you put that in the ESO channel of Discord right now, I'm sure Max or Kel can get you an invite or while I'm doing this.
Sure can.
And done.
And once you are in the guild, please feel free to make use of the guild bank for anything that your toon might need.
I saw you before
and
those
ask
witches
for
caught
help
us and
because
tossed
we like
me in a
helping.
stone box.
Glad you're finally awake.
Now for the race to see who gets you an invite
Apologies for my
first.
ghastly appearance.
He's already in.
Not feeling my
Yeah.
best.
I didn't do it, but it's account wide, so.
Yeah, if you already had one, he's already in. Alright, so we're going to help Finner in here. Basically, he's not feeling his best for some reason. Maybe vampirism.
Our precise location, I can only speculate.
I mean, I sort of recognize the look in his eyes from the character I had that was a vampire.
When the ice Age coven
Yeah,
witch
he looks a
attacked.
little vampire-y.
We can escape.
Oh,
but
that's
I
a very
desperately
good
need
question,
your help
Fezzik,
first.
about the looting. Give me just a minute to get off of this
The
dialogue
witches
and I
must
will
have
show
stashed
you
my
what I
belongings
did.
Nearby. Among them is a
Quick
small
side
flask.
comment, it's a little hard to
I
find
can
guild
open the
chat
cell door.
sometimes for,
Once I
for new
do, I need
people.
you to retrieve that
It's
flask for me.
/G1, G2,
be too
G3
weak.
for each of the guilds in the order
And
that you
until I
joined
have
them.
it, I
So
swear,
probably /G1
I intend you no harm.
if you want to find guild chat or to say hi.
You are allowed to be
Don't
in
be
5
afraid.
different guilds.
This
Yep.
may be jarring, but it's a
So-
necessary part of the plan.
Some of the interacting with most things in game is with the E button to interact. So when I go through this door here, well, he's actually going to open the door for me.
Please,
Yeah, I'm in the guild.
hurry and retrieve my flask.
Congrats. So to talk to him, I would press E, and he's going to have
Please
another
retrieve the
conversation with
flask.
me. Over here, there are some bags and urns. It's just E to open it. And then you can hit R to take it all. Or, an amazing thing in this game, in the settings, there is an auto loot. It's under gameplay, I believe. So consolidate area loot. I always turn this on because when you're going to loot corpses, this way you don't have to go to each individual corpse. It will consolidate it all. So you loot one corpse and it gets all the ones that are nearby. I also turn on auto loot so that I don't have to pick and choose what I want. It's going to grab it all for me. I don't do auto loot stolen items because if you steal in town by accident, guards will chase you, and guards are unkillable, and yeah, it's just bad things can happen. So bounties costing you a lot of gold, or if the guard catches you, he will take all of your ill-gotten gains off of you, as well as some of your gold. Unless he kills you first. So, yeah. Which happens when you try to fight the guard instead of just pay up. So, consolidate area loot and auto loot are both great things to have. I hide my helmet, usually, when I have one, just because I like to hide my helmet. But you also have options in here for display mode, the normal MMO type settings that you would have. Your audio. I tend to keep the subtitles on so that I can read what's going on, just in case I get distracted by other things. And add-ons are also a thing in this game. As you can see, I have quite a few.
Yeah, they're essential.
Getting started, a lot of them are not necessarily needed, but I would recommend right off the bat to get one called Fco Lock-Picker. It helps you with picking locks so that you don't break your lockpicks. And if you tell it to show the green springs, it'll show you the sweet spot to let go. Also, you're going to need a mini-map. The game does not have one by default. So the mini-map that I use is, I think Votan's mini-map is the current one that I'm using. And that's putting it right up in the right-hand side of the screen, and it's customizable as to how you want it to look. For add-ons, Twitch is not the best place to go, actually. The site we use is called Minion. It has an add-on manager that you download to your computer, and then you can search for add-ons and add them that way. It's very user-friendly. I actually like it better than Twitch. At least when it comes to the add-on management. But usually we would loot everything ever. If I do that, we'll be in this tutorial almost as long as I might be in Character Creator. This is one of the games where you do loot everything. You get gear, you get stuff to sell, potions, food, etc. He seems rather
inventory
desperate.
space constantly.
Yeah. So we're gonna deliver what he wants.
Yes.
You can hit I
Better. Thank you.
to open
feel
up
my
what's in your
controls
bag
slipping
for your inventory. It'll show you what you have equipped over here. If you have the crafting bag, items that you pick up on one character are shared with all characters in the crafting bag if you have that from ESO Plus, which is awesome. So we're going to talk to Finner in here
Yes,
again.
that was blood. But I swear there's no cause for alarm.
And he's going to tell us
Not
he's a
every
vampire.
is a monster.
Basically.
Well, he looks much
I'm part of a group that only drinks from willing donors.
Yeah, he looks
We
a lot
regulate
better
the
when he
actions
drinks the
of
blood.
less scrupulous vampires. I belong to House Ravenwatch, one of the noble houses of Rivenspire. We adhere to the teachings of our founder, Count Verandis Ravenwatch. We take no blood by force. We help those in need, and we curtail the actions of more hostile vampires.
No, I'm
we
on
go
a good
where we're
Ravenwatch.
needed.
I'm a
I
good
was
guy. I'm
investigating
not
a burial site
I'm
in
not gonna
Dankinia
attack you, I
when I
promise.
discovered smugglers stealing ancient remains. I followed
I'm
the trail,
thirsty, though.
ran into the witch, and well, you know.
I
the
do
rest.
like the fact that
Now,
the game
we
is
need to
pretty
get
much
out of here.
voice acted throughout, and you'll hear random people talking as you move through
Sort
the
of.
villages and towns.
I regained enough of my senses when they carried me in here to remember the
Another
way out.
great thing about the
It's
way
pretty
this game
straightforward.
works is how it
I'll
handles
guide the way if you
grouping
defend
up.
us from
You can
anyone
group
who
up with
blocks
your
our path.
friends from
we work
level
together,
1.
I'm certain.
And you can do content with a friend that is maxed level when you're level 1,
Follow
and you're
closely.
still contributing.
You never know what's wandering
How do you set up
around in
like
these
the
old
UI
barrels.
so it shows like your new moves that you're getting?
You can get an add-on like AUI or Bandits to help with that. The default UI kind of sucks.
Yeah, there's some UI assistance for that. I tend to use the default for most of my skills. I don't change a lot with
How
that.
do you use the default one? Because mine's not on the screen.
So your ability bar won't appear until you're actually in combat or you need it. The UI sort of hides those commands that you would normally see down at the bottom until you're fighting. And then it'll pop up. To move stuff around on those bars though, whoops, that's the wrong button. To move stuff around on those bars, it would be in the in the skills area. So you'd press K. And it shows you down here, at the very bottom of the screen, what abilities you have slotted. I don't have any slotted yet because I haven't leveled up to get any. Nor have I used any weapons yet.
You can also go to settings under the combat section. There's a heads-up display heading. It says you can always show ability bar, attribute bars, resource numbers, stuff like that.
Where did you say that was? I'm sorry.
Settings under combat, and then the heads-up display section. So hit escape, click settings, then click combat. And it's ability bar, always show.
Yeah, I just have it at automatic. I like it out of the way when I'm doing some of the RP and
Oh,
stuff. It
thanks.
just keeps it away. Same with attribute bars. I don't generally use the resource numbers because the bars at the bottom are usually for me enough for that, but you can have it display those as well.
I like as much information as possible.
So now that we've given him his stuff, we are going to go this way. I'm avoiding the impulse to loot all the things.
I wonder why the witches
Hard.
are storing
Very, very
all these
difficult.
things.
Oh, it's so
See if you
difficult.
can find a weapon. I'll grab
Yeah, I'm
something
just
more
looting
suited
everything.
to my skills.
Normally I would, but I don't want the tutorial to take us like 6 hours into the town hall later. So he wants me to grab a weapon, so I'm going to take this great sword here. And I just see my inventory, and I'm going to go ahead and equip it. To equip it, you can just hover over it and press E if you're on the keyboard and mouse. There you go. I have a recipe too. Alright.
That looks dangerous enough. Now come on, this
Now
way.
I have a sword. I just pressed the left mouse button and it pulled the sword out. So, walk around with a giant sword.
What are you two doing out? Ergala still has need of you.
That's the brute who threw us in
You
our
can
cell.
do first person
We have
or
to get
third
past him.
person. I tend to play in third person. It's a little easier. It also allows me to see myself falling over cliffs better.
I'll put you two milk drinkers back in your cage.
The only way out is through him. I'll support you from back. Strike him with a light attack. Hit him
You
again.
can also change the view to where you're either, notice how she's kind of off to the side of the center. I always have mine right over my body.
Don't let his heavy attack hit you. Block it.
On.
Okay. Trying to block. And of course, this is not working. What is wrong? So. This is fun. I'm hitting all the buttons.
Right click.
Oh, I'm right clicking. It is not doing anything. He is not a... He's just gonna... Yeah, alright, hang on. Nope, I can't log out while in combat, but I can't finish the combat.
Alt F4.
Well, I think I might have to. Yeah, that's...
Do you want to check your keybinds first?
I'm pretty sure you're lagging out, otherwise the guy would have hit you by now.
Yeah, I think it's lagging out. Keybinds, interface. Controls, here we go. Right mouse button, that's what it should be. It's lagging out. Alright. Sorry for the interruption. I will be right back. Because Alt F4 isn't working, so I gotta kill it with the task manager. So, thank you for pushing your block button too, Fezzik. I appreciate it. What? I'm double checking my password.
I think you have to close the client to get in again.
Sometimes.
I'm already logged in. Awesome.
Wow.
Sometimes it just takes a little while for everything to close. I've found that.
Yeah, it'll have to time out if it thinks you're already logged in. It'll take a few minutes.
Max, when I send you this video to save for posterity, feel free to edit out all of the technical difficulties. Oh yeah, the in-game music is fantastic. Alright, so while I'm waiting for it to log me in, so one of the things I was talking about is grouping up and how it allows you to group up with people of all levels. The only real restriction on grouping up is for the random dungeons and the four-person instance dungeons that you can do. You have to be level 10 to walk into those. But as soon as you hit level 10, someone that is maxed out on champion points can go in there with you and help you, and you're still doing damage. They're not killing everything for you. So you're still helping, you're still contributing, and you're getting loot that's appropriate for your level, and they're getting loot that's appropriate for their level. So you don't have to worry about feeling like you're being carried or feeling like you're taking away time from someone else's adventures.
What are you two doing out?
A low-level character is good to have a big stat boost.
We have to get past
So,
I'll put you two
to balance things out a
drinkers
bit.
back in your cage.
The only way out is through him. I'll support you from back.
Alright, we're trying this.
Attack.
Tapping the light attack a lot.
Hit him again.
Fast, but you can't withstand this.
Don't let his heavy.
Yay, the block worked that time. And then charge up a heavy attack and smack him.
Get your guard up. Hit him.
Block. And smack him.
Defend yourself. Hit him again.
You can block what you can't see.
Hit him again.
So basically,
Break free from that stun.
stunning is to...
Break free, my friend.
So when they stun you or do crowd control, you break free by doing both of your mouse buttons at the same time.
Another. Press your advantage with a heavy attack. Interrupt the attack. Stop his attack.
And another heavy attack.
To end this.
Smell of
Yay!
overwhelming.
Level 2.
We should move on.
Alright, so when you level, it's going to give you an option in the center of the screen that says your level rewards are now available. Hit F or whatever hotkey on the device you're using to claim now. And the first thing it's going to do is give you the ability to put in, after you claim it, to put in your attributes. She's going to be stamina based, so I'm just going to put the first point into stamina. And I'll hit E to commit the points, and then I get to pick my first skill. ESO has something called a skill advisors that will let you choose, it'll recommend to you based on what it thinks you might want to play as, what skills to pick. So this one, the Initiate, is a Magicka class. That's not what I want. So you can go through and look to see what options are there. And it's a good way to start out to get a feel for all of it. So that's Magicka. That's also Magicka. Here's Stamina. That's going to be a tank roll, healer roll. Well, I'm going to go stamina damage, so Venomous Dragon is what I'm picking. The abilities that it...
Sorry, I was just going to say actual builds later have different ideas of what you should use, but don't worry about that until you actually matters.
Yeah, when you're starting out, especially when you're leveling up, ideally what you want to do is have something from every skill line available on your bar. So I'm going to go ahead and...
Oh yeah, that's very important. Because as long as it's on your bar, you get XP for it, for everything you do. So have one ability from every single... like 3 of your class abilities, then maybe a weapon or ability or some other thing, and you get XP for everything.
Exactly. So the way you earn XP is based upon the ability being active on your bar at the time you earn the experience. So I'm just going to take a quick look.
Yeah, that's one of the best. That's one of the best tips.
Sure. I'm going to go with Stone Fist first, I think. See how that goes? And it automatically puts it as the number 1 for me. Since I only had the 1 skill point, that's all I can put in right now. But you'll notice because I've used the two-handed weapon, that skill line is leveling. So as long as I'm using the two-handed weapon, the experience bar up here will increase. And as this increases, you unlock these skills. Same with the class. Because I didn't have an Ardent Flame ability slotted, I haven't earned any experience in that yet. But as I So this one is going to earn next because it's a ability I have slotted. Alright. Avoid
as
looting.
the Stam Dragon Knight, you'll probably want to use Stone Fist anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring.
That's one of your primary abilities later on.
I'm just gonna run through here.
Grab anything you think might be useful.
He wants to give me more weapons or armor. I'm going to grab some armor because I'm not currently wearing any. Don't really need a shield because I'm using the great sword. So with this armor and stuff here you get in the tutorial area, you might be tempted to... Actually, the jack will be better because that's stamina based. You might be tempted to pick up all the weaponry ever and sell it or break it down. It's not going to be worth anything. So don't worry about it. You have limited inventory space. So I wouldn't carry too much if you can avoid it. I'm going to go ahead and equip some of this stuff. Those are heavy, but it's better than what I'm wearing.
You can also just double click to equip.
That's true, you can. And it talks about your compass showing your quest objectives on the map. Just letting me know where I need to go. But I also have the mini-map in the corner because of my add-ons. So. Another skill line that you unlock, though, is based upon the armor. So as soon as I earn some more experience, we'll unlock a couple more skill lines. Thank you, Fire, for the follow. I appreciate it. And I do appreciate all you guys tuning in on Twitch to watch me do this tonight. Avoid looting. I don't have time to loot all the things.
Giant frostbite spider. Kill it, my friend!
Now, I remember my first time in Skyrim. One of the first big monsters I had to kill was a spider. So you double tap to dodge. Alright. So, more loot. Awesome. You can see because I defeated the enemy, I got some more experience here, which caused Stone Fist to start leveling up, so it's actually at level 2 now. And my weapon leveled up a little bit since I'm using it. And congrats, Marcus, on your level.
Woo woo.
Through the next door. Yeah, Haruk, it can be a little bit overwhelming the first time you get back into it. When I started playing again in the one Tamriel, it was like, where do I want to go? So I just decided to follow the zone quest line first as I got used to it again.
Look up on the bridge.
As you'll see,
so raiding in this game is actually done through what are called trials, and they're 12-man. And you probably want to be at least level 50 CP 160. That's right, 160.
300 was probably more likely though, but nobody else will accept you in a group
Let's
usually.
talk for a moment.
Depends on if you're doing a guild run or not, yeah.
Yeah, guild runs, if we actually have enough people to run a trial, that's fine. But
so if we...
Your stats keep increasing till 300, that's why a lot of guild pug runs won't accept you.
Yeah.
So once you finish the tutorial and you get into Vanderfell, you just start clicking on people's names that are highlighted above, and that starts your quest line?
Yes, so you'll see markers. See the marker over his head right there? That's telling me that he's got a quest for me, and it's part of the main story quest. Smaller triangles that are similar to that will just mark anyone with a quest for you. I see
you, Corley. You're right in front of me.
Yep.
I tend to take all the quests ever. Another thing this game does really well is something that they started a while back called the Zone Guide. If you go into the map, on the left-hand side, you'll see something that shows your completion, and it marks what you're doing. So this here is your main story quests and how far you've gotten through it, and different things you've unlocked. How many way shrines you might have you cleared the delves, points of interest, etc., all the way down. So if you go to a new area and you want to start the story quest for that area, but you're not sure where the dude is, you can just hit Open Zone Guide. It'll pull it over here into your activity finder, and you hit Start Zone Story, and it's going to mark on your map exactly who you need to talk to start the story for that zone. Is
that a default UI?
Yes. The Zone Guide is actually built into the game. So, but it's one thing, I think they started doing that 2 expansions ago with the Zone Guide, or 2 patches ago, maybe 3. I'm not positive on that. But I find it useful, especially if you're going to like the DLC areas.
That was Urgala, leader of
that
this
don't
branch
necessarily
of the
have a
Ice Reach
tie-in from one second to the
She's
next.
the witch who locked us in the barrow. The others take their orders from her.
And yeah, it's absolutely a cool feature. Hey Zen, thanks for tuning in.
Hey, can I just say the water is beautiful.
One of my kind.
This game is gorgeous.
We'll make an
Yeah,
investigation.
this game looks really good, especially on Ultra.
Yeah, it's a really pretty world, and every zone looks better than every expansion looks better than the expansion before. It's just
when you're doing like this expansion, then you go back and start the original one. It can be a little bit jarring sometimes.
The fire is amazing.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of detail that they put into it as well. Go beat that guy up.
Witches and their servants are everywhere.
We could be sneaky in here and just crouch and work our way through while being hidden. Anyone who's gamed with me knows that I'm not a big fan of the sneaky. I'm more.
Yeah.
I'm
well,
more
there's a bear. There's a bear.
So the warden class gets a bear as a pet. And that bear tanks for you, and it is pretty awesome.
They took new meat down into the crypts.
You can't type a name in for it, but you could pick one for it and just refer to it by that name.
I called mine Bear. I figured that was the easiest.
So my my Sork has an ultimate ability, which is a giant storm atronach. And look at all the detail they put in here. I call him Stormy.
Clearly did. All right.
Excuse me?
Oh, I'm talking to myself. Oh, here we go.
Just things you can collect, like moths give you insect parts.
Yummy.
Oh, and since we were speaking
have you talked about...
Oh, and there's fishing. There's definitely fishing.
Yes, talk about fishing. It's the greatest part of the game.
So, levels in this game it's interesting how they work. Your actual level cap for your character is level 50, but after level 50 you earn what are called champion points. And the champion points can go up to 810 that you can apply. They unlock different things in this ring. So I'll go into the tower here and there's Warlord, so I can unlock it. You start earning champion points on your character once you get to level 50. But if you already have a character that's level 50 and has a lot of champion points, and you start a brand new character, you have champion points for that brand new character. So you don't have to do that champion point grind on every character that you have. You only need to do it once.
That's nice.
Yes, later areas are... So this is the starting area for the brand new expansion. When we get out of here, we'll actually be in the Skyrim area, and you'll see how that looks. It's gonna run around smacking things with swords. And the area is a pretty big area for a tutorial. Like, it's talking to me now about changing perspective. Let's try first person for a little bit, right?
I find first person way too difficult.
I do first person in Fallout, but I have never been a fan of it in ESO. But we're gonna try it for a couple minutes. Don't run away from me. I was trying to
Boosting the FOV helps a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, being able to see what's around. I mean, look at the water here. I could, you know, go around and be sneaky, but why? Get back here.
It flows really well.
So the starting areas differ for the expansions. The initial starting area is actually still part of the Soul Shriven main story quest. There are quite a few main story quests in this game, actually. So the Soul Shriven questline was the original main quest that launched with the game, where you wake up in a prison cell and you have to make your way through it. You actually still go there for that story quest, and it's actually the best bang for your buck skill point wise, because you earn skill points pretty much every major step along that quest line. But that was the initial tutorial. When Vardenfell came out, they created a new tutorial for Vardenfell, and then Somerset got its own tutorial, and then Elsewhere got its own tutorial, and now here. The only thing that I really wish they'd let you do is pick to go back to older tutorials if you really wanted to.
Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be really nice.
Because they're all a little bit different, and it would be nice to even take a tenured character through those tutorials just to see the story. Like, the story in this dungeon here ties into the initial, well, not dungeon, but in this area here, ties into the initial video or launch schematic for when this came out. Well, my main character will never get to go through here because she's not a brand new character. So if I hadn't created a brand new character, I wouldn't have seen this piece of the story. So yeah, it would be nice if they let you go back to do that, or let you bring a tenured character in to see them when you entered a new zone. Yes, the starting line to this expansion is a great callback. The video for that, I was just like, oh, this is awesome.
Beyond your guard.
So just like a lot of other MMOs, if the ground turns red underneath you, you probably don't want to stand in it. Or you want to block it. Don't loot everything ever, Kenny. But normally, yes, loot everything ever. Stop running away from me. So yeah, it would be awesome if you could go back and see some of the other tutorials. So you actually can push them around, the NPCs, a bit. Like, Finneran is trying to follow me because he's the NPC for this quest. Like, it's letting me run through him, But he's not a guard. And he's joined with me. This is actually in the new Western Skyrim area, is where this would be, based on how the tutorial is set up.
For the upcoming battles.
And yes, the guards can absolutely push you too. I'm glad you like the banner, Sai.
Lots of NPCs can push you. It can be annoying when you're sitting on your horse and some scrawny little NPC shoves you right out of the way when you're trying to do something.
The ones that can't really push you around are the ones that you're grouped up with for a quest, like this guy. Finneran can't really push me and I can't really push him. But other ones absolutely can. You know what? We're just gonna kill this guy too.
I can't... How beautiful it is.
It's a very pretty game, and it gets better every time. Somerset and Artaeum are still two of my favorite places to hang out.
Those urns. They bear the same symbol as the ones I saw in Banquerai.
Sort of. So yes, your weapons lose... your weapons can reduce in their effectiveness and your gear can sort of break over time, but you can repair it for gold at any merchant or with the repair kit.
And I'm dead.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
Marcus
okay.
being a marauder.
I was just trying to kill.
Yeah, so let's see here. I keep looking around to make sure I don't get lost, because even though this is a small spot, you can bet I'll go the wrong way. Yeah, Cold Harbor is not my favorite place to be. It's very... Cold Harbor is basically the game's version of hell. Yeah. I'm gonna kill her real quick.
Maybe that will stop the storm from growing.
You escaped. No matter, for soon all of Skyrim will fall.
Dodge there.
Your efforts mean nothing. The heart.
The storm. Somehow that pike is involved. Destroy it quickly.
Alright, I gotta go destroy a pike thing. Yes, there is Caldwell. Caldwell is awesome. And I'm getting a request to show the world map, so sure. So basically this is the highest level of the map. And it has Artaeum, Cold Harbor, which is basically the underworld, and Clockwork City as outside. This is Tamriel in general. And then you just drill further into that. This character hasn't unlocked much, so she can't really see much, but I can click in a step further. This would be Murkmire. But yeah. It's a huge world. And where are we going? I believe I need to go back over this way.
Jump.
Oh, it might happen.
You have to destroy that.
Yep, that's what I'm
dragon-looking
doing right
thing.
now. Alright, and I get to talk to Finneran
You did
again.
it. The storm's dissipated. I wish we could have learned more before we killed Matron Ogala.
Alright,
I still
they're
don't understand
creating a
what the
storm
Coven
for
has
vampire.
planned. And it's the not knowing that worries me. That's true. And we stopped
And
that
evidently
storm.
this is my luggage that
My
somehow I left
investigations have led
behind.
to even darker corners, but progress
A skill
has been
point, and I'm unlocking
Here,
the soul magic
Consider this a
skill
stipend
line.
from Ravenwatch. For your valuable assistance, of course. The Ice Reach Coven's presence in Western Skyrim concerns me. Not right
And
now.
he's going to tell me a little bit
Other
about
members of the
Solitude.
Ravenwatch came here ahead of me. We're in the hold of
And I'm gonna go
Harfengar in
warn
Western
them.
Skyrim. Solitude is in... The Nords don't tolerate
Yes, DP, I will eventually fall anyway.
Once you warn the gods, I'm sure High King Svargrim will dispatch his troops. The Coven's threat is as I said, my investigation began.
No, your character doesn't actually like talk in the dialogue piece, but they'll yell a lot as you're doing things.
Most disturbing. The ash and
but they don't
belong to
say
a dark
actual
army
words
that once roamed the land.
Yeah,
the Grey.
The voice acting in this game's very good. Very good. But
I have no idea.
I missed that from Star Wars.
So on my Twitch page, the enable in-game drops. What that is ESO will periodically run events where people who are watching Twitch streams can earn in-game rewards. If you are a streamer streaming ESO and someone watches your stream, they're going to get something. You get something as well, but that's what that is. To get those drops, you link your ESO account to your Twitch account. And I have my channel enabled for it so that people can get those rewards. Alright, so this is the door we need to go to. I am not actually going to jump because I don't need to go that way. If I needed to go that way, I would though. Oh, I should level up. So, leveling up. Of course, stamina, because stamina based. Commit those points.
Cheered for you.
Yep. Cheering as I level. And now I need to put another skill on the bar.
What I always do is pick the first level of the other class stuff, just to level them up.
Yeah, so because the weapon will keep leveling even without being on my bar because I'm using the weapon, I don't need to put one of those skills in right now. So I am going to do another class-based skill. And I'm going to go for the armor, just number 1 to unlock that skill line, and number 2 because maybe I might need protection. You never know. Might help. Might keep me from dying a lot. Hey, Abo.
You got another one too, so you can get the flame one also.
Oh, did I really get another one? Oh yeah, that's right. I got the level up from the... I got the level up also from the skill point for the quest.
Okay,
Thank you, Abo.
It says I have 2 skill points. Do I want to do the Ardent Flame, the Dragonic Power, or the Earthen Heart?
Take the first one from each.
Yeah, so ideally you want to have 1 from each skill line on your bar because the class skills only level up if they're on your bar. So usually I'll do the first one of each to start with and then switch them up later. Another benefit of this game is you can respec at will. It's super awesome. There are, at one point in time, I think in the level 40 range, one of the level up rewards is a free attribute respec and a free skill line respec. You can also go to any of the major cities. There are various shrines, and you can go to those shrines and say you want to reset all your attribute points. It will cost you some gold, but it wipes them all back to 0 and you can put more in accordingly. Same with your skill line.
You also occasionally get scrolls that give it for free.
Yeah. My Sork has changed up her build probably a dozen times in the 3 years that I've played her. I just go swap things out and it all works. I'm leaving Deepwood Vale. There's a couple newbies here with me. And we're stepping out into Western Skyrim.
The road ahead will take you straight to Solitude. Go. Warn Solitude of the danger. I need to make contact with the Raven Watch.
So, I need to change something real quick here. Settings, add-ons. Is that the one I want to turn off? I've got 2 quest trackers running right now. I've got the default and the other one I'm just trying to adjust. And I don't remember where that adjustment is, so... I thought it would be Here. Interface. Oh, here we go. That did not do it. I'll worry about it later. So sometimes the quest tracker is not always updated when new expansions come out, which is why there's the default in the other one. I'll have to fiddle with that add-on. So now
So
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say at some point I'll just ask you to help with the show me how to do this, the add-ons to get like the mini map.
Okay, so I can actually.
You don't have to do that now.
The easiest way to do it is to go to Minion. If you just Google Minion, and you'll download the interface for that. And that's the add-on manager the majority of us use.
Okay.
See if I can pull that up here real quick. Of course, I pull it up and then immediately click off of it. So this is what it looks like, and you can have it find the add-ons that you want. I have a lot listed here, but but a lot of them are libraries to make other things work. The mini-map I use is Votan's mini-map, which puts the one up here in the right-hand corner. And another one that I highly recommend is, where did it go? Is it Harvest Map? Looking for it now. Harvest Map. You can use Harvest Map as well. It puts markers on the map for you that will help with things. So now that I'm in Skyrim, I've discovered Deepwood Vale. I'll just open it up the map so you can see the western area of Skyrim. A lot going on the map, as you can see. So a few different things around the map in different areas. You'll see what are called way shrines. Way shrines allow you to fast travel from one location to the other. Fast traveling is free to guildmates and friends, or if you go from way shrine to way shrine. But if you want to travel and you're out in the middle of nowhere, you just hit M to go to your map, click on a way shrine that you've already discovered, and since this one's here automatically for me, I'll click it. And it asks if you want to go there, and it's going to cost you a little bit of gold. The gold price is based on your level and on how long it's been since you've last traveled. So on my main character, it cost me, I believe, 148 gold if I haven't traveled in a while, but if I try to travel back to back, that price goes up to in the thousands. I see Max. Oh, so emotes are awesome. I just have to show this one.
Do you ever use
played
nameplates?
Skyrim. Do I ever use what?
Nameplates.
I don't. I find they get in my way.
Okay.
But it's personal preference. So, and mounts. You do not get a mount automatically. Although if you bought Skyrim, you might have one that came with it depending upon which edition that you purchased.
I think you might get one at like level 10.
Yeah.
You have to buy it.
Yeah, it costs gold. Yeah. You know what? Let's.
Oh no, there is a free one. There is a free one in the skill advisor. Never mind. Sorry.
You know what? We're gonna use a dwarven spider, just because I've never actually used that mount before. There we go. So, that's basically the tutorial piece of it. Another thing that's good to do is called mount training. So I'm going to go to this way shrine here real quick. And I'm going to travel to the Solitude Docks. And I'm going to go up to the stable. Now, as I was saying with the zone guide, so if I hit open zone guide, continue story zone, it's pinging the dude that I need to talk to. So it'll show me where I need to go for the main story. And it'll do that in any area that I go to. Which it wants me to talk to this guy who's like bleeding from a chest wound. But he still has enough energy to chase me all over the place if I don't talk to him fast enough. And yes,
oh, I'm dying, but
mounts are account specific, not character specific. So that is the event vendor. And because of that, if you've unlocked them on one character, you have them on all characters. Yep, Flaming Horse with the pre-order. You can use a mount at level 1. So if you go to the Stable Master here.
Got somewhere to be?
Is Vardenfell the original game?
No, that's the first expansion.
Yep, that was the Morrowind expansion.
Oh, so that's where you start now when you land?
No, you.
That just means that's the most recent expansion you have.
Yeah. So if you haven't purchased Greymoor, then you'll start in whichever one, the last one you own, either Morrowind or Somerset or whichever one. So every day you can train a riding skill. Speed is, of course, mount speed. Stamina is whether or not, how much you can sprint and whether or not you get dismounted quickly if things attack. And carry capacity. So you can increase your carrying capacity up to a maximum of 60 just by spending 250 gold every day. But it's every 24 hours. Or, I'm sorry, every 20 hours it lets you do it. So just once a day on that. I do not have enough gold at the moment, but that's okay.
And just know, if you open up your map, and this is just...
Want me to give you some?
No, it's fine. I'll send myself...
Wait, I found you.
You can set a waypoint. You can set a waypoint in this game, so you can follow that.
Yes, you can. So, there are daily quests that you can pick up. This is in regards to the Mid-Year Mayhem, which is a PvP event going on in Cyrodiil right now. I'm not planning on going there. PvP and I don't get
aware
along.
Of our patron Saint Alessia? Her deeds? Her champion?
I can answer PvP questions.
But anything specifically you guys would like to see? Actually, another thing that was brought up as a good option or a good suggestion, can you run all the content in Western Skyrim on your brand new tune or in any of the zones on a brand new tune? Absolutely. And you'll get the story for that zone. The story for Skyrim is self-contained. The story for Somerset ties back into some of the original main quest line, but you could still play it standalone and not be lost. Morrowind, same situation. You're going to go through that zone and the story is its own story. You don't have to go through the other one.
Story does make a bit more sense if you do it in order, but it's not required.
It does, but it's not required. One thing that I would definitely encourage is the main quest line, the Soul Shrivern quest line, to everyone. It's a very good way to, number one, get skill points, and number two, to make sense of some of the comments that some of the older NPCs might make to you in the game. Yes, I can turn on nameplates. Gotta find it. Settings.
Just a warning to anybody, the nameplates, turning on nameplates does crash performance quite a bit. So only turn them on if you really need them.
Yeah. I just don't run them because they get in the way.
That too.
Alright, so nameplates are on, so you can see this person here. This person over here. So. Oh, that's right. That's something I can show off. So we have a guild house. If you go to AIE, go to the roster, and the character that you want to look for is AIE Guild. And you can organize your guild list by however you want, by name, by whether or not they're online, whatever makes more sense to you. But if you click on that and then right click and hit Visit Primary Residence, so I was just sitting there talking to myself for a minute, gesturing with my hands. So if you click on the AIE Guild and hit Travel to Primary Residence, it's going to take you to our guild house.
How do you pull up that window? Sorry, I was in a little scene.
Press G for guild. And then if you just type in AIE, and you'll find the AIE Guild, and it'll bring you to our guild house. And you just right click on...
There's also a nifty little add-on called Guild Hall button. It takes a little configuring, but it'll put a little button on the guild screen so you can warp to it quickly if you want.
You can see Lucy's new character, Victor, is here.
I just got here.
Smoke just got here on his new character. Here's Vor's character. You'll see Tythus over here. So there's a few things that you can get for crowns in the guild store. And one of those things that a lot of us have is an assistant. There's a banker and a merchant. A merchant and a banker that look like cats.
Yeah, I tried to use mine, but I'm on my alt account.
Anything that you purchase for crowns is also account-wide, not character-wide. So if you go to Ty here, he'll take you to your own bank. And your bank is shared across characters. So whatever, this character now has access to anything my main character has. So you can see she's got a bunch of stuff in there. So this banker is only for your bank. It doesn't take you to the guild bank. You actually have to go to a town to get access to the guild bank. I see Corley over here.
So I know I'm the rookie here, but I'm in the guild window, but I don't see how I can get to the guild house.
Okay, so if you go filter by, just type in AIE, and you'll see something pop up that says AIE Guild. It's one of the character names. Right click on that character name, AIE Guild, and click Visit Primary Residence. The guild itself doesn't attach to a house. We had to attach it to a player. So Max created the AIE Guild account just to have this house for us. Well, we've got some crafting stations in here if you want to break stuff down or craft. Nice little view of the water, but we are in one of the older areas of the game. So you hit M to go to map. This is the Reaper's March area. And because I have the map pins available, or harvest maps, it's showing me all these things that I might want to find in the world. By default, your map won't have this unless you have that add-on running. But it's showing me sky shards, so that's another thing to talk about. Throughout the world, you'll see these sky shards that you can pick up. 3 sky shards give you skill points that you can use to unlock your skills. you can actually get enough skill points in this game to unlock anything that you would want. And some of that, well, actually all of that is pretty awesome. My main character has max crafting on all the crafting because I have enough skill points for that. She's got all of the skills that she needs for combat. She has, you know, all of the skills she needs for the guild lines for passives. Because you can earn all of those things. And yes, there are quite a few advantages of subscribing, as DP points out. The biggest advantage is the crafting bag because of inventory management. But there are a few others as well. I see Smoke is here changing his clothes.
I'm just looking through my costumes. I don't remember which ones I have.
I think... So where do I type AIE?
So
after I hit G or in the chat window?
It's up in the top corner.
It's up in the top corner. It says filter by.
Yeah, you gotta go to roster. That is true.
Oh, I might. Yeah, you have to click on roster. I'm sorry. I'm pointing at it with my mouse, but that doesn't do me any good if I'm not saying what I'm pointing at, does it?
Oh, I see now. Okay, thanks.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I just was making a mistake, and I didn't know where to go. Hey, I made it.
So after you get out of the tutorial section, if you wanted to start the Soul Shriven quest line, there will be an NPC that you can talk to help you do that. But if you wanted to do the faction quest lines for your faction, the easiest way to do that is to go to what would be the original starting island for that faction. So for Aldemary Dominion, it's Canarthy's Roost. For Daggerfall, it's, I believe, Stros Mackay.
Yep.
Yeah, Stros Mackay for Daggerfall. For Ebonheart, it is...
Bleak Rock Isle.
Is it? Bleak Rock? Yep, Bleak Rock Isle.
Yep.
So going there will let you start the zones, or, well, the faction-specific quests. And the way this game originally came out, you could only do the faction-specific quest on a tune of that faction. With the one Tamriel, you can do it on a tune from any faction. And there's actually a challenge to do it that way. If you finish the main story quest line for the Soul Shriven, it will give you the option to do what's called Caldwell's Silver and Caldwell's Gold, which is a challenge to finish the faction quest lines for the other two factions that you're not a member of. So, which is awesome. And yes, part of the Soul Shriven stuff will drop you to the starting faction zone if you do that first. Another benefit of the ESO Plus is access to the DLC. That is not what I wanted to click on. Map. There are several DLC zones in the game that are either standalone purchase or part of the subscription, such as the storyline for Clockwork City, the storyline for the Dark Brotherhood, and the storyline for the Thieves Guild. Those are all DLC.
So I'm in Vanderfell, and so that's the actual, like, that's through the tutorial. The tutorial is the slave ship, right? Then you come out and go into Vanderfell, and then so I complete all the stories in Vanderfell, and then I can go into the next expansion.
So
you can start anywhere. Vardenfell is just the Morrowind expansion. You could just go back to the main city and start from the beginning. And if you purchased Greymoor, you could travel to Skyrim and start there.
Yeah. So
which is what I did.
And that's actually one of the.
Oh, you purchased it, Corley?
Yeah, but I didn't need to. But that's fine.
So one of the great things about this is the ability to jump around on your character. So if I decided that with this character I didn't want to do the Western Skyrim stuff, I could just immediately port to Vardenfell and do the quest in Vardenfell instead. You don't have to do them in any specific order if you don't want to. It's just the stories tends to make a little bit more sense if you do. Vardenfell itself is a standalone story, so running through that chapter without having done any of the other content is totally fine. You're not going to miss out on that. There might be some random...
There's a prelude quest to it.
Yeah, there is a prelude quest from the original version of the game into Vardenfell, but you're not missing out on very much. Maybe a few callbacks here and there.
I would say that Vardenfell leads into Clockwork City, which leads into Somerset. Those are kind of interconnected.
Yes, each zone scales with your level, so you don't have to worry about it. You can run around anywhere and you're not going to be under-leveled for the content that you're in, which is also a great thing.
More specifically, everyone's always scaled up to CP 160.
It adjusts the game accordingly, so you don't need to worry about that at all. It's more based on your gear than on your level, and as long as your gear is okay for the level that you're at, you're fine. Like, I wouldn't recommend being level 50 and trying to tank a dungeon in level 4 gear, but I know people who've done it. And I've also tried to heal on very low gear, but... And yeah, the mobs, you might need to plan your pulls a little bit, but, and if you see the skull and crossbones, that's a world boss. Don't tackle that on your own. Just FYI. As well as the public dungeons. Public dungeons are generally meant for group content. They're scaled for, 2 to 3 players maybe. We'll usually run in there with a bunch more than that and just slaughter everything. It's great. And there are also delves. Delves are single player. They're not instants, so you'll run into other people in them, but they scale for 1 player. So you could solo a delve without a problem. And then there are the random dungeons that you can queue for, or that are actual, like, I'm hovering over on my map right now, a trial, which is a 12-person event, which we don't run those yet. Maybe one day.
Yeah, and that one right there is the most mechanics heavy.
Yep. But like, here, hard one. Now there's a regular dungeon up here, the banished cells. Those are going to be 4-person content.
And how do you get back to like the city where you were at? Just exit and it'll bring you back to where you were?
So if you exit the house, actually, it's going to take you into Reaper's March because that's where the house is. But so you can hit M to go back to your map and then just go to the way shrine where you were. Or you can exit out of the house and go to the town that's right near the house. I, of course, went out to the wrong door. Up here it is. And there's a way shrine up here in this town, too. But just hitting M, finding the location you want to go to on your map, so Vardenfell, if that's where you were, and clicking on the way shrine there. It's just free to travel from way shrine to way shrine. So if you wanted to run outside and go to the town.
Yeah, I can't. I have to run. I have 70 credits.
You are the one I seek.
So, on your brand new character, someone might run up to you called the Hooded Figure. This Hooded Figure is who's going to start the Soul Shivering quest line.
My benefactor wishes to speak to you about a matter that, if my benefactor, a passage.
So I'll just pick that up here, and then she disappears. And it tells you to talk to the benefactor, and you can start that whole quest line if you want. I absolutely recommend the quest line. The story is good. The characters that you meet are good. One thing I've always liked about Elder Scrolls games is the lore and the story. And there is definitely a lot of us. Or a lot of it. Any last minute questions before we call it and switch over to the town hall?
So we just have to, in order for you to get back, you have to just run back to where you were.
Yeah, it won't take you to the exact same spot, but it'll take you to the nearest way shrine to where you were.
You can also freely transport to people in guild.
I can't
to unlock those.
Yeah, but it says.
Where are you trying to go?
Oh, I think I figured it out.
If you go, if you go to the waypoint, and I don't remember what it's called. The waystone in the town, it's free to go from there to the other waystones, right?
Yeah, you just run out to the way shrine. Way shrine to way shrine is always way shrine to way shrine is always free.
Travel to player is also always free.
Yep. And if you need to travel somewhere and you don't have a way shrine for it, you can always type into guild chat and say, hey, can anyone get me a port to here? If any of us are online and are nearby, we'll absolutely let you jump to us, and that's free travel.
Well, thank you so much. I am gonna switch over to the town hall.
As am I. I hope you all enjoyed this, and this was informative.
Thank you so much.
If you have additional questions, if you need more help, by all means, let me know. Mention it in Discord, guild chat, whatever. We're always willing. Hope to see you all again next Friday night for more mandatory fun. The town hall is going to be viewable on the AIE Guild's Twitch stream. And I believe Max has a channel set up in Discord called Town Hall if you scroll up, and you can jump in right there. I'm about to jump up there as well. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. It was awesome. I hope to see y'all next Friday for some mandatory fun.
Thank you very much.
Alright, so you guys all jumping up to the other channel? Oh, the town hall channel is full, evidently.
Yep.
I didn't know a channel could get full. We've had more than 25 in a channel before.
Yeah, somebody put a limit on the number.
Officers can probably move other people in there.
Let me see if I can pull people up.
It just depends on permissions.
Let's see. Who would like to be my guinea pig to see if I can drag you up?
Me.
Or me.
Move to... Nope. It's not letting me do it. It's not even an option. Hang on, let me whisper Max real quick. See if we can deal with this. Hopefully he sees that.
I say it could just be restricted to council only being able to do that, or...
No, they're trying to figure it out.
Okay.
I wonder if it's because he's live streaming it through Discord.
Yes, probably. That is
that
certainly it.
Yeah, If you click on it, it says watch stream, you get a nice little, nope, can't do that.
I think it's because he's live streaming through Discord.
Yeah, it is.
Is there a Twitch stream too for it?
Let me see if he's got it up.
Yeah, it's on AIE Guild.
Yeah, so I actually will raid that channel with my channel and bring us all over there. How's that sound?
That'll work.
Great.
Alright, we're about to jump over to him.
That's something I didn't know you could do on Twitch.
It's because I was streaming.
You could also do offline raid and auto hosted.